Hello, guys, and happy Good Friday. I hope you guys are having a wonderful one so far right here on the Sprint, joining us, whether you're eating your lunch or eating your dinner. Hope you're having a good time because today we got a jam-packed show with all kind of fun things that you guys need to keep in mind that's happening this weekend. Obviously, the holidays coming up on Sunday, so I hope all of you are just gathering with your families or have plans to do so. But in the meantime, while you're here with us today, we got over some of those things we're going to chit-chat about right here on the Sprint. We talk about the stories that you guys want to talk about, the goodness in our community, the stories that'll make you smile, some stories that'll make you scratch your head, and some stories that'll make you thank God that you don't live anywhere near Florida. For example, right here, we're talking about this bad boy later on in the Sprint. That is correct. That's a huge alligator somebody just pulled out of their front yard. We're talking about it coming up later on. But for right now, again, as we mentioned, today is Good Friday. And for those of you who don't know what Good Friday is, this is the day when Christians around the world marks Jesus' crucifixion. Observance is a big part of the Christian Holy Week. Good Friday leads up to Easter Sunday when Jesus was resurrected. Churches around the world will host services to mark the day, and some even offer sunrise services on Sunday. So me and Jazz were just talking about how, we were planning on going to church this coming Sunday. It's just always special. If you're a believer, if you're a Christian, this holiday, it means a lot. It means a lot to our faith. And obviously, if you don't celebrate, Christianity, people look at it as Easter. So again, it's a time, whether, you're a believer or not, a time to gather with your family, at the end of the day. So with that, I hope, again, everybody is enjoying the true meaning behind this particular holiday and doing what you can to, just try to be in the moment with those that you love the most. So speaking of Easter, a lot of people do these cool Easter egg hunts. Well, we got this one that's coming about that makes it accessible for everybody. Check it out. It's going to be an Easter egg hunt in Roanoke this weekend. It will provide a safe space for kids with special needs and disabilities. For those in wheelchairs, there will be larger eggs in areas that they can reach. And for children with autism, there will be a sensory-friendly part of the hunt. The All Ability Scouts says that they've planned this event to put a smile on everyone's faces.
We wanted to be able to make it where everybody is included, so that way it's stress-free and there isn't anybody who feels left behind.
So the adaptive egg hunt is set for 11 this Saturday at Golden Park. It's free to attend and open to all ages. So again, another fun thing to get involved with. I remember when I was a kid, I was just telling you guys about this yesterday, what we used to do when we would go Easter egg hunting, and we would actually use real eggs, like boiled eggs, and we would paint them the night before, and then the next day plant them all over the yard. Our parents would, and then we would go out and find them. Super fun. But can you imagine, being able to have an Easter egg hunt for kids of all abilities, kids in wheelchairs, so that they don't have to bend over so far to get it and all that stuff. So it's always cool. And I can't wait to see some of your pictures and see some of the stories that you guys have this year, creating memories about it all. And speaking of Easter, for some reason, we got to remind you guys about this every year. Don't give your kid a bunny for a present. Come on now. Okay, check it out. There's a reason behind this. Easter is the weekend, and animal experts want to remind everyone it's not always a good idea to gift your child an actual bunny. The Roanoke Valley SPCA says that oftentimes rabbits, chicks, and ducklings are popular Easter basket gifts. However, once Easter is over, people can realize how difficult they are to take care of, and sometimes releases them into the wild. They say don't do this because these animals are often bred for captivity.
These animals, they live for a while, they take work, and they grow up. So if you're gifting chicks and ducklings, you're going to need to know that they take usually a heat source when they're young, and food and water, and ducks, I have them, and they are very, very messy when they get older.
So they say that if you want to gift an animal, do your research before committing, and honestly, don't surprise the kid either. Like, literally let them know about it. I do want a chicken. I would love to have a chick or some type of duckling. I think a chick more than anything, because I think they're just super cute, and I feel like I can have a great relationship with one. That's just me as a cool parent or like a pet parent. I was one of the kids. I wasn't given this as a present for Easter, but I did own a bunny rabbit at one point in time, and yeah, they are not easy easy to take care of. You got to spend time with it. You know, I got to deal with the crate and food and all that stuff. So, yeah, you kiddos out there, if you get a bunny and you wanted a bunny for Easter, make sure you understand the things that goes into taking care of this particular animal. All right, now let's switch gears real quick. Get this. This is a really cool deal coming in Danville and the city of Roanoke. They're among 20 U.S. cities named by the National Civic League as the finalists for the All-American City Award. Each year, the award recognizes communities that demonstrate innovative, inclusive, and effective efforts to tackle critical challenges. This year's finalists focused specifically on strengthening local democracy by building more opportunities to hear from the community on meaningful decisions. So let's go ahead and give a ring with that. Danville, Roanoke, doing your thing. Shout out to you, man. Keep on putting us on the map. I absolutely love it. Something else is putting us on the map too, man. This is something very interesting. If you like moonshine and you like history and NASCAR, this is the story for you. Check it out. This week, operations staff were working on the North Wilkesboro Speedway when they came across cracks in the concrete of the grandstands. The staff revealed a possible moonshine cave, long rumored to be under the speedway. One local distiller says that making moonshine has been in his family for generations, and he wouldn't be surprised if his family was involved. Says that Speedway says that the cave is only about 700 square foot open area underneath the grandstands. Speedway leaders say that they haven't found any steel equipment and can't confirm whether certainty the space is a moonshine cave, but as they make repairs to the grandstands, they say that there's no telling what else they'll find. This is one of those things where a lot of people tend to, when these stands are being built and stuff, it's cool when you go back and see some of the artifacts that were left behind, or, it's kind of like a time capsule, almost. I know one person planted a Kansas City Chiefs flag in a particular stand that they're building. It's just like stuff like that, and you go back and you find it later on. It is always cool, especially if you can attach it to history. So if this is in fact a moonshine cave, man, hey, that's some good history right there. I'm pretty sure there are a lot of things that you can find inside of it, but more than anything, pray over it first, just in case some spirits are flying around in there. Moving on, guys, let's get to this forecast. A lot of people are excited about their Easter, different events happening, whether it's today, tomorrow, or Sunday, when you're going to hunt, when you're going outside, cooking, whatever. You need to be in the know about what's going on with your weather. So let's get to meteorologist Chris Michaels with your Good Friday forecast.
Happy Friday, guys. Wind advisory in effect until 8 p.m. for all these areas shaded in beige. Then as we head into the weekend, warmer, highs in the 70s for Easter Sunday. Got to watch out for a few isolated showers each afternoon and evening.
All right, Chris, thanks so much for joining us. Coming up after the break, we're going to talk about some foods that people are looking into trying out during the eclipse. Got a lot of food chains that are getting in on the eclipse action as far as getting you good deals on stuff, so we're going to go over that. And we're also going to talk about this. Again, this is that burger we were talking about, but check this out. The story that we were talking about earlier, this gator being found in somebody's yard. This is something that, nobody wants to see if they were going outside in their drain just chilling. We're going to talk about this after the break. Don't go anywhere. Stay tuned to The Sprint. Welcome back, guys, to The Sprint. We are back in action with the stories that you guys want to hear, the stories that will make you smile, the stories that will scratch your head, some of the stories to be aware of. For example, a lot of food chains are getting in on the eclipse action, trying to capitalize on trying to see how they can make some money, okay? So first and foremost, Burger King is offering this on April 8th, giving out free Whoppers in honor of the rare celestial event. The deal is exclusive to Royal Park Perk members who text Eclipse to a specific phone number. Then you redeem the buy one, get one offer through the app. This one right here, though, is something that'll make me, I would be surprised if a lot of people did this, because you just wasted an opportunity, because the eclipse comes like every, a lot of years. It doesn't come often. Anyway, Sun Chips are trying to get on the action, but they're going to take up the time it takes to watch it. Says that They're giving new meaning to the phrase for a limited time only. The snack company is celebrating the eclipse with a limited edition pineapple habanero and black bean spicy Gouda flavor. Company officials say that these chips will bring, quote, the bright heat with the sun and the spicy cheese of the moon. However, the special bags will only be available, get this, during the 4 minutes and 27 seconds of the eclipse. So instead of sitting there with your safety glasses on, watching the eclipse, they're expecting people to go hard in the paint to get these chips in that time period. Hey, if you are all about doing this, go right ahead, have fun. But if you want to watch the eclipse, I don't think these chips, the flavoring of these chips, I don't think is worth not or missing that moment of history. So if you're going to do this, and so we were talking about this earlier, I do think that there are some people out there who's going to jump on this and try to get as many bags as possible, and then they're going to turn around and try to sell it for like $1,000 a bag probably because they're special eclipse chips, so I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Is this something that you'd be interested in doing? I personally wouldn't, but hey, to each their own. Moving on, obviously we're talking about today being Good Friday, getting ready for the holiday on Sunday, but it's also Vietnam Veterans Day, okay? So 51 years ago today, they released the last of the acknowledged prisoners of war, and the U.S. officially de-established the Military Assistance Command in Vietnam. Because of how controversial the conflict was, Vietnam veterans are long thought of as the forgotten generation. They are the largest groups of American veterans still alive today at around 600,000. And the day of recognition was officially started in 2017 by the President Donald Trump. Veterans groups use the day not only to thank those who served, but also advocate for mental health and PTSD recovery. Always good to honor our veterans. And I do know, and we all have seen the history. We've seen what happened to these men when they got back, weren't welcome whatsoever. And it's just some of the stories that I hear break my heart because we know a lot of veterans, and a lot of those veterans that did fight in this war come back and they say the horror stories that they had to deal with, with our own citizens. So, yeah, no, it's good that we have a day established to them. These are people that are forgotten often and are often looked and frowned upon. So with that, if you guys see a veteran, let this day be a reminder to you just to see somebody and say thank you for your service. If you see them, you typically see the veterans wear the hats, or you could tell, tell them thank you at the end of the day because they've seen some stuff and done some things that nobody would ever sign up to do without realizing that their life is being put on the line unless they are actively doing that. And they do that so that we have the freedoms that we have today. So either way, shout out to our veterans. And again, thank you so much for your service. Moving on into the story that we were talking about earlier today, where, again, what would you do if you walked outside, letting your dog out or whatever, you looked in the drain, you saw a huge lizard sitting there? And I'm not talking about any lizard. I'm talking about a whole reptile. Some residents in Cape Coral, Florida, got quite a show yesterday as wildlife workers pulled a more than 8-foot-long alligator out of a storm drain in front of a home. What? Take a look at this. Neighbors noticed the gator inside the drain Tuesday, and the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission issued a permit for a trapper, and crews arrived to get it out. The neighbors stood around and watched, of course.
We're sitting in the driveway hearing all the commotion, so it was time to come over and see what was going on.
My little grandson got to see, what Florida can really be like in certain days.
So the alligator control said that they put the gator in a crate and sent it to live on a farm in South Florida. Yeah, I would freak out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Like, that's one of the things that I'm like, whoa, what is he pulling out? And, I'm happy that they got it. I'm happy they caught it. I'm happy that the alligator's okay. But can you imagine something could have happened to animals or kids or anything like that? That's just one of the things that we don't have to worry about here in Southwest Virginia. I think that's definitely a benefit in living here in comparison to Florida. But if they do live in Florida, some people say that this is something that they see often. So I got to talk to Parker about that, see if he's ever seen an alligator pop out of nowhere while he was just walking outside, like a little performance going on outside. Let's get with Jazzy Jazz. Jazz, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, girl. This gator, though, man, that stuff is crazy.
Oh my gosh, yeah, it's absolutely horrifying. I would be scared because my little dog, he's
Scoop.
like 8 pounds, so it's just scary how it unfolded. And like you said, a lot of things could have went wrong with that, but I'm glad the gator's okay, and I'm glad no one was hurt.
Yes.
It's huge. So I don't imagine how bad that could have went if the alligator wasn't rescued and if they didn't see him as quick as they did and reacted as quick as they did. So that is good.
All right, Dad, tell me, would you try these good old chips right here, these sun chips for the eclipse?
No. I don't think I would, because I like the original sun chips. I don't think I need to change or adjust anything, so I think I'm good at that.
Hey, I heard that much.
What about you?
Oh, girl, no. If I'm going to watch the eclipse, I'm going to pay attention to the eclipse. I ain't trying to pay attention to how to beat somebody out about getting these sun chips. Like, no, ma'am.
Exactly. Yeah, like that. You're taking away from the moment.
Yes.
By being so focused on it. So I'm good on it. I can have sun chips at the end of the day.
I love it. So, Jazz, we were talking about how church is Sunday. This weekend is a very special weekend for obviously a lot of Christians out there. So, what are some of the memories that you have that you usually do around this time of year?
Yeah, so I have a lot of different memories. So it's a little mix of everything. So we go to church on Sunday. It's a really important day to us, as it is to many Christians around the world. But when I was younger, we would always have like Easter egg hunts and like big cookouts with all the family there. We would also make the boiled eggs and like color the dye the eggs. That was always really fun.
Yes.
I'll never forget. I remember I was making some for my mom, and we were about to dye the eggs, and she accidentally spilled all of the red dye.
Oh no!
It didn't get out for a while, so it was just really funny. But it wasn't funny at the time. But looking back on it,
I love that.
It's always a fun time. A great time to spend time with family and just reflect on what's really important to us as Christians and what makes us Christians.
Amen. I love that. So, Jazz, before I let you go, girlie, we almost to that deadline time for the scholarship. So if you could, one more time, walk them through them.
Yeah, it's coming right up on March 31st. That's the deadline. Again, we're giving away two $2,000 scholarships to two deserving college-bound seniors. You can head to WSLS.com to apply. Again, the deadline is March 31st, so please do not miss it. And please submit your application because you never know, you could just win. So I'm really looking forward to seeing who's selected for it. And again, do not miss the deadline because I know college is expensive and we just want to help in the best way that we can.
Amen. So. All right, Jazz, you got anything else, girlie, before we roll out for the holiday?
No, that's it.
All right, have a good one.
All right, you as well.
All right, bye. All right, guys. Well, that does it for our sprint today. Thanks so much again for joining us on this Good Friday. It's always a fun time when we can join with each other for these times of year, because again, it brings us back to the reality of the situation of living in the moment. And you guys hear me say this all the time. Whenever these holidays pop up, live in that moment. Be with the people you love. Do not waste the opportunities to make special memories that are going to stick with you for a lifetime, okay? I hope everybody has a safe weekend. I hope you enjoy your weekend to the fullest. And again, like I said, whether you're celebrating Resurrection Sunday, whether you're out doing Easter egg hunts, whether you're doing anything, just make sure you be in that moment, present, and again, just stay in peaceful minds. That's all we can ask for right now. But we're about to roll out. I'm about to get ready and head out, get ready for a lot of different projects that we're working on for next week. But with that, we'll see you guys next week, next Monday in the afternoon and the evening on the Sprint at WSLS.com.